Nityanandam. Here today we are going to see how Swamiji felt with first meeting with his guru. So Swamiji goes by saying, if I have to give the essence of my first meeting with arunagiri yogishwara, I won't call it Advaita, I won't call it enlightenment, I won't call it spirituality, I won't call it I met my guru. But all that I would only say is the essence of first day meeting was the friendliness he radiated, the extraordinary friendliness he radiated, the space he gave me. Love is a poor word sometimes. Friendliness to the extreme, to the extent that even when I was sitting next to him, I would feel like placing one of my fingers on him, on his body, on his leg, on his head. I would just put one of my fingers on him, just wanting to be touching him, or I would just hold his little finger while walking, while talking. So the first day I went up to holding the toes, I did not want to irritate him also. I think I was sitting on his right side, so I was holding his left toe. He was sitting with folded legs and I was holding his left toe. I feel he was seen by all, not just me. One thing I wanted to record. I don't want to say that only I saw him, because when I was sitting and talking to him, the watchman who walked in that area, or one or two people who walked there to fetch water from the temple tank, did not look at me in any weird way. See, if I was sitting and talking alone, they would look at me in a very weird way. You will know by the way they see you whether they are looking at you weirdly or casually. They did not look at me in a weird way. The way they looked at me, I am sure he was seen by even them, not just me. While the avatar concludes as above on the subject of whether or not Arunagiri Yogishwara was visible to others, the Arunachala temple, the very watchman, the avatar mentioned above, who is now retired, was discovered and interviewed. Unknowingly goes on the record in the history with his unassuming sharing on what he saw, or rather didn't see. He sat many times near the Arunagiri Yogishwara Mandapam behind the main sanctum. We would never be able to guess where he would sit. He would just be suddenly sitting in a spot. There is one small mandapam there. There is a stone there. He would have got the enlightened sitting there only. After that, only he went out and things happened. He would sit on the steps near Arunagiri Yogishwara Mandapam and watch the Kailash metal inverted Kalasas, watch the Kalasha on the top of the temple. The Annamalayar Shrine Tower. There is no occasion to talk to anyone, but he had the habit of talking to himself. He would sit there and talk to himself. I have seen him sitting and talking on the steps. There would be 3 steps. I used to be on my duty at that time in Amma's shrine. I have never asked him why he was talking to himself, because he had more involvement than our usual involvement with Lord Shiva. He was always in that thought of God. So I used to think, all right, he is talking to somebody, why to go and disturb him? In the case of such people, only they know if there are anyone there or not. Only such siddhas, mystics, and enlightened being, the other forms will be visible. What when it is time to close the date, I would call him, "Come, it's time." He would go away through the backside. So this is what the watchman shared, seeing Swamiji with his mystic friend Sadashiva himself. Enjoy the story. Thank you. Nityanandam.